A federal police mortar pit sends a 6-kilo shell into Mosul's old city. The Iraqi security forces have been trying to reduce the number of artillery and airstrikes used in these densely urban areas, but it's a necessary evil. We're targeting a group of ISIL fighters, says the commander. The intelligence is coming from an American drone. There are still 100,000 people trapped inside ISIL territory, and they're being used as human shields. Getting to the front lines is perilous. ISIL snipers are watching the open ground. The only safe way to progress is through abandoned houses, narrow holes smashed in the wall. Danger around every corner. Well, this is an illustration of how close the Iraqi security forces are to the old city. This is one of the last districts to be liberated, but it also illustrates how much fighting they still have to do as they move from house to house, trying to remain as secure as possible. At this forward position, troops were taking a break. It's the holy month of Ramadan, and there are more lulls during the fighting. But they tell us ISIL fighters are waking up and trying to retake positions they lost during the night. Gunfire from just down the street, and the stench of death and decay in the heat.
For some targets we cannot use artillery or airstrikes because ISIL are gathering people in those places, so it's very difficult.
But it's not one-way traffic. ISIL mortars targeting their positions. Some well off target, but they were finding their range. This one hit 25 meters down the road. Behind the front lines, the local commander was briefing his troops. ISIL fighters were pushing back, but he was confident their lines would hold.
We always change our tactics, but ISIL can't change their plans because they are now surrounded in this small area. This is a last gasp effort.
But with ISIL surrounded in Mosul's old city, Iraqi forces are preparing for a major offensive to retake their final enclave. But for many, that's too late. These people had been used as human shields when their house was hit by an airstrike. You can't do anything to help, she says. You weren't here when they killed us. Out of 17 family members, only 5 survived. Her son is still buried in the rubble. The end of the battle may be in sight, but for many, that's not soon enough. Tony Cheng, CGTN, Mosul.